Hey, it's Ashley coming to you from my living room, video 2, plant tour, east facing bay window, maybe a little cross of north, but mostly that wonderful morning gentle sun that the plants love going on over there. And then this little nook I'm going to show you too in this tour. So stay tuned if you want to see more. Starting off here with lemon lime maranta in my north facing bay window. Hanging here, happy, grows and grows and grows, no complaints. This little guy has come a long way, rickrack cactus. Had it for some years, hasn't done a whole lot. I have been putting effort into, watering it regularly and giving it lots of light, and it seems to be responding, really growing up well now. Down here we've got, I think, another reclassified philodendron to Thaumatophyllum. Unsure, thinking it's used to be Philodendron Salloon or Hope. Here we've got Monstera Peru. Got a lot to say about that one if we have time someday. Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. One of my favorite plants. Not this particular one, but the species. And just because this one's, still growing up. Here I have a Philodendron squamiferum. I did cut this one back. Really a very large vine. Did not have success in propagating any of those pieces, and this one's just now kind of bouncing back and growing back up. Here I've got my Philodendron jungle boogie. This one taught me a lot too. I cut a ton off of it about over a year ago. Gave away some rooted propagation of it and kept some. We'll see it someday. I cut too much off, essentially. When it started growing after that were these really large, undefined leaves. Or, I guess it just set it back into juvenile phase. Here's where it was before. But now it is back with the program. Here's the latest leaf on that vine. There are 2 vines in there. It's growing another leaf. What's the latest one here? This one, yep, pretty defined. Still semi-soft, still growing. Okay, here I have some little bits of string of hearts, and there's a little variegated Bertonier. I've got a mixed pad of what were propagations, rickrack cactus, a trailing jade, string of dolphins. What is this? I think just rickrack. Oh, and here's some fern leaf. I knew I was looking for that. There it is. One of my favorite plants as well, a fern leaf. Not this particular plant, but that species. Here I've got Hoya heshkuliana. And I really like it. I do love the pinks. I don't know how you can't. She's growing really good. And I'm really was running a risk with her because this plant has no drainage, but I'm being very mindful and careful when watering her. And honestly, the leaves tell me, they get soft and less rigid. And that's when I know. All the Hoyas, that's what I do. Okay, here we've got a Hoya Kentiana. Had this probably 3 years or more now. So again, not a fast grower, but it's hanging in there. Hasn't lost anything either, and it does have that pink that I love. Here I have just Hoya carnosa. That's just happy to be living a life here. And I really appreciate that little plant. Hoya Australis Lisa. Just love her too. She grows the pink, fades into the green. There's a new little growth. These 2 are still hardening off. They were bright pink. Had this one probably 3 or 4 years too. Again, even put her outside last growing season to try to boost her. And not a whole lot, but kind of is consistently growing now. So hopefully that's the new program. Okay, there's that view. Over here, I have Monstera Thai Constellation. I did pick up 2 of these. I don't have many duplicates aside from, you know, the little pieces that I propagate that I don't plan to keep. But definitely did get 2 of these. It was the right price, and I really love it. Really, really do. Here's the newest leaf. Okay, over here, I've got a little terrarium with trailing jade in there. Looking a little limp. I don't know if that one's gonna pull through or not over there, but this one here is better. Got some little peanut cactus in there too. Just little things I throw in there that fall off of other things. Here is a philodendron silver sword. Very impressed by this plant. Probably had it 2.5, almost 3 years now, maybe. It was at the point when I was buying more mature plants rather than tiny, cheaper ones. So maybe that's kind of the biggest case here. I did get it pretty mature, but it has done nothing but grow and grow and grow and grow. I've even cut, you know, a foot off of it. Didn't have a lot of success propagating that foot, though. I can tell you that. I am still clinging to a bit of it. So this has a couple vines, and it has a lot of little babies it's working on down in there, too. Where's the vine that I cut? That's what I was kind of trying to find here. I guess it was this one. So yeah, still growing, bouncing back, doing great, beautiful. Very impressed by this plant. Over here, I've got a couple of my little terrariums, with the stringer hearts. Here's another one of my favorite plants, polka dot begonia. I think this one's called, my special angel wing begonia. Love me some polka dots or stripes, pink. That's my kind of plant. Here we got a ZZ, a trusty, beautiful ZZ. They just look prehistoric. Over here in my summer scene, it's kind of giving me a, you know, coral reef, or probably more like seaweed effect. But anyway, there's that one. Here I've got lemon lime philodendron. I really like this one. If I had to choose out of your kind of basic heartleaf philodendron, the green, Brazil, all the other striped, silver stripe, Rio, this is the one I would pick. Love it. It grows so well. Its color is, you know, kind of a change from all the darker green. Here I've got some propagations, lemon limeranta and Syngonium white butterfly, as well as up here I've got some Syngonium propagations in a little water vessel in that. And here's some more Syngonium propagations that are now grown up. I've got a blend here of white butterfly and batik. So that's this corner. There is this little guy down here. He is a Syngonium. I'm not sure the variety. I have tried to figure it out. The juvenile have the red stem, and then they kind of turn to green. I think it's just more of a wild variety, perhaps. And then we're going to go behind that table and see what's there. Before we go under the table, let me mention, I'm thinking this that I said was just a good old Hoya carnosa. It happens to be an Australis, isn't it? Hoya australis. No wonder I love it so much. I love the way it carries its vine. It's great. And then I also missed from the table another little terrarium. All right, let's go under. Here we've got a starfish sansevieria. I did just take 2 of its babies, probably 6 months ago. growing a new little tip there. Here I've got an aloe I've had for probably 6.5 years. Just took a couple pups from it 6 months ago. Left this one, and it has since started to push out 1, 2, 3 more. So it's exciting. We call this one Boxy Turtle. I think my daughter named it, 6.5 years ago. Here's another aloe. I don't know if it's Boxy Turtle's baby. I don't think it is. I hate that I don't remember. But I also don't remember just buying an aloe for sure, so I don't know. But this one's happy, has some babies. I actually just moved it here. It was in one of my plant shelves, but it was getting too long. I don't know a lot of names of succulents, so I'm not sure on this one, but I really like it. And we've got a Gollum Jade. Got both of those same amount of time as I've had Boxy Turtle, the aloe. And then this little snake plant, Laurentii. I don't know. It's a sad little guy. I've had it trying to go for years too. It hasn't done much. And then we've got a Ficus benjamina here. Hello? It's my son. Please excuse us. Typically there's a lot of commotion here in this house. Okay, we've got probably the main commotion right here, Birdie. And then we've got Vinny. And we've got Nellie. Couple kids and a husband. Living our best lives. Quick front porch tour because some of my houseplants are out here getting a boost for the growing season. These two are kind of some reckless propagations. Didn't put enough dirt in there and kind of don't care too much at the moment. So I just kind of threw them out here and I think they're going to be all right. We got lemon lime maranta and Adansonii. There's an agave that did live behind the chairs in the bay window prior to the growing season. Here's my burgundy rubber tree. See all this growth? That's because I cut it. I cut it and I did all that. The pieces that I cut, I stuffed them down into the dirt and look at what they're doing. Every one of them is taking. I'm not surprised. I have done this with the Taniki in previous years. So, and burgundy is just way better behaved. A better grower. So I knew it would not be a problem for it. So there it is. Here's where I cut. That kicked in all this growth. Okay, we got your Boston ferns and just kind of blended arrangements. Here's a Ficus benjamina. Has not lived in my house yet. I just bought it this year, but we'll have to have a spot. Come fall. Here is my Ficus Taniki. This one was living behind the window in the bay. This bay window. Okay. I just brought it out here maybe less than a week ago. Why? Because I want to boost its growth. I waited so long because I don't want to be missing it in my house. So that's what's going on here. I freaking love this plant. Also that came from my living room is this Ficus umbellata. It was declining. I decided let's put you outside, see if you can get happy. I did cut a piece off the top, put it back in its pot, and I think it's going to be all right. Also, from inside the house was this domino peace lily. It didn't do great in there. I can't say I kept great care of it either, though. But I put it out here hoping to boost it, and it's growing. It's doing all right. Here we've got a snow queen. Philodendron snow queen. No. Is that a pothos? You know what it is. And here it is. It's beautiful. Out here putting out all these vines. Okay, let's go. Here's the view of the bay window from the outside, looking in. Okay, another just seasonal arrangement. Well, actually, these elephant ears I kept inside all winter. I'm surprised they didn't go nuts when I put them out here, but they're living still. This one came from my bedroom. What is this? Bird paradise. Bird paradise. Happy out here. I need to put it in a bigger pot, but I don't know. I may just sever some roots instead. Here's a Ficus shaveriana. Loving its life out here. As you can see, here were the previous leaves. Now that it's been growing season and it's been living outside, it's got bigger leaves and more variegation, I would say. Except for this one doesn't. We'll see what happens. Here's my other Ficus Shaniki, another plant that I do have a duplicate of because I love this plant. And really, it's was my experiment from years ago when I cut it back and to see what would happen. Cut off of there, put it back in its own pot. Here's what we've got. Gorgeous. Down here, I've got Mona Lisa lipstick plant. It was living, hanging from my ceiling in my bedroom, and it fell and did lose a lot of leaves, and it got tore up a little bit. So I decided to put it out here, see if we can boost its happiness or whatever. Regrew it. Another Boston fir. And then another elephant here that I did have out here last year and brought inside for the winter. I have, I think, one more houseplant out here. Philodendron Campii. Was thrilled to find this at Walmart. I just love the strappiness and texture of that leaf. Oops. I started to hear that maybe they're prone to pests, and I think mine wasn't really doing well inside. And then came the outdoor growing season, so I decided I'd throw it out here. Hope that some pests out here will eat those pests, and it'll start growing happily. We'll see. I just blew a little ant off my hand, if you heard that. It's the best technique for getting rid of little ants. Okay, so there it is. Okay, here's my front. Got some window boxes with Creeping Jenny, and Maidenhair Fern, and my polka dot begonia that I have inside. I just showed you. Here's clippings of it. And this one's from it last year. Really, the same plant. All these clippings. I did take to try to fill it in because it was pretty sparse. Some drops from the extra growth on these little polka dot splash plants, hypoesty. And some of them are taking and some aren't. And that's what you would expect. And I think it's doing great. Okay. So there's the outside. I missed a couple here. We've got Philodendron Yippee. Very cool leaf. Had it in the living room. Not for too terribly long, probably 6 months. It did grow a leaf. It was too big. It couldn't support itself. So it broke off. Decided to put it out here. Boosted strength. Working on a leaf down there. And then we've got a desert rose here. It was living in my son's bedroom window. Barely hanging on to life. Where is it? Now that it's out here, it is trying to grow up again. Okay, that's all I've got for this area. I've got at least 3 others probably that could be torn. Next, we'll just go across this room here in the living room against the wall, supported by grow lights. Can't wait to show you those. Leave it all